Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Chapter 6.
The Allied forces have just formed, right? They're supposedly ready to take on the tyrant Dongzhuo.
Supposedly being the key word there.
Exactly, because right from the jump, things aren't running smoothly for the coalition. We see Zhang Fei, always fiery. He charges headlong at a pass, but just gets hammered with arrows and stones like rain. Has to pull back fast.
Yeah, not quite the triumphant start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And what's really striking, I think, is how quickly the internal cracks start showing, even before they properly engage Dongzhuo's main forces.
Oh, absolutely. The allies are already squabbling. You've got Sun Jin, a really formidable general, just furious with Yuan Shu.
And why? Because Yuan Shu held back supplies.
Exactly. Apparently, someone slandered Sun Jin, Yuan Shu bought it, and withheld crucial provisions. And this directly leads to Sun Jin being defeated in battle.
Wow. Talk about internal politics undermining the whole effort. A huge betrayal.
It really is. You're out there fighting, and your own side is basically starving your troops.
So how does Yuan Shu react, after causing Sun Jin's defeat like that?
Well, his reaction tells you a lot about the delicate power balance in this alliance. He's immediately scared, really scared of Sun Jin's anger.
So what does he do?
To try and smooth things over, he orders the execution of the guy who slandered Sun Jin in the first place. Swiftly.
Just like that. Sacrifices a subordinate to save face.
Pretty much. It shows he knew he needed Sun Jin, needed to keep that fragile unity, even if it meant, well, tossing someone under the bus.
Okay, so while the allies are dealing with this mess, Dongzhuo makes a move. He seems to sense this weakness, maybe.
It looks that way. He makes this really unexpected diplomatic play directly aimed at Sun Jin.
What does he do?
He sends one of his favorite generals, Li Zhu, to Sun Jin, and the offer is significant.
Which is?
A marriage alliance. Dongzhuo offers his own daughter's hand in marriage to Sun Jin's son.
Whoa! That's a serious political move. Trying to break the coalition from the inside, target one of its best generals.
Very cunning, yes. But Sun Jin, well, he is having absolutely none of it.
His refusal is pretty epic, isn't it?
Oh, it's legendary. Full of passion. He just lays into Dongzhuo, calls him rebellious against heaven and without the way. He even says he wants to exterminate his 9 clans. Basically wipe out his entire family line to atone for the world.
So definitely not interested in becoming family then.
Not even slightly. He states flat out he would never marry a rebel. It's just this total unyielding rejection, not just of the marriage, but of Dongzhuo entirely.
And he doesn't stop there, does he? He gives Li Zhu a warning, too.
A very stark warning. He tells Li Zhu, get out now, surrender the pass, or you'll face, and I quote, powdered bones and shattered bodies.
Yikes. So Li Zhu.
He panics. The text says he was holding his head and scurrying away. Understandably, really.
Okay, so Sun Jin's bold defiance.
Yeah.
That really pushes Dongzhuo's buttons. He's enraged.
Definitely. And this is where his chief strategist, Li Ru, steps in with some very cunning advice.
Right. Lu Bu, Dongzhuo's top fighter, had recently been defeated. The army's morale was low.
Exactly. So Li Ru suggests, look, let's withdraw from the front lines near Luoyang, and then let's move the emperor himself to Chen, a strategic retreat and relocation.
But the justification Li Ru uses is, well, it's pretty wild, involving a children's rhyme.
It's fascinating, isn't it? He brings up this Tong Yao, a kind of folk rhyme or prophecy that was apparently going around.
What did it say?
A Han from the west, a Han from the east. When the deer runs into Cheyenne, then there will be no more difficulties.
Sounds kind of cryptic. How does Li Ru spin that into a reason to move the capital?
He gives it this really sophisticated historical interpretation. He connects it to the 12 emperors of the Western Han dynasty who ruled from Chang'an.
Okay.
And the 12 emperors of the Eastern Han who ruled from Luoyang. He argues the rhyme is basically saying it's time, it's heaven's will, for the capital to shift back west to Chang'an.
Wow. Using a folk song, twisting it into this grand justification for uprooting the entire government. That's quite the move.
It's a masterclass in manipulation, isn't it? Taking something from popular culture and framing it as destiny to serve your own political aims.
And Dongzhuo buys it.
Hook, line, and sinker. He's enthusiastic, apparently saying, I would not have understood this without your words. Classic opportunist.
So he decides to go ahead. He gathers his officials
to announce the move, and he uses Li Ru's reasoning, talking about Luoyang's decaying qi, like its vital energy is fading, and Qian'an having flourishing qi.
But surely not everyone just accepted this. Abandoning the capital based on a rhyme?
No, definitely not. And this is where you see some real courage. High-ranking officials actually speak out against it right there in the assembly.
Like who?
Well, you have Sikong Yang Biao. He was a top minister. He warns Dong Zhuo, points out that Chang'an is basically in ruins at this point.
Right, it wasn't exactly ready to be a capital again.
Not at all. Yang Biao mentions abandoning the ancestral temples, the imperial tombs, the huge public alarm it would cause. He gives this really powerful line: "To disturb the world is easy, to pacify it is most difficult."
Wise words. Did anyone else object?
Yes, Taiwei Hongwan, another very senior official, reminds everyone how Chang'an was destroyed in the past by Wang Mang and the Red Eyebrows Revolt. He calls it a land of broken tiles with hardly anyone living there.
So practical objections based on history and logistics?
Exactly. And another official, Sekong Shunshuang, chimes in about the inevitable public unrest. These aren't just minor figures. They're pointing out the huge human cost and instability this will cause.
And Dong Zhuo's reaction to this? Thoughtful, well-reasoned advice.
Utterly brutal and immediate.
What did he do?
Yang Biao, Huang Wan, Sun Shuang dismissed on the spot, stripped of their ranks, made commoners, just like that.
Harsh. But did it stop there?
No, it got much, much worse. Two other officials, Zhu Bi and Wu Chong, who also advised against the move.
What happened to them?
Deng Zhu accused them, basically out of nowhere, of being secret allies of Yuan Shao, one of the main coalition leaders.
Yeah.
And he had them dragged outside the city gate and beheaded immediately.
Executed. Just for giving advice he didn't like.
Right. It wasn't just cruelty, though it was that. It was a terrifying message to everyone else. Disagree with me, and you die. Dissent is fatal.
A chilling display of absolute power,
Yeah.
setting the stage for what comes next.
Precisely. Because now he needs to fund this massive move. They're short on cash and supplies.
And Li Ru has another solution.
A truly cold-blooded one. He suggests confiscating all the wealth from the rich households in Luoyang, especially anyone vaguely connected to Yuan Shao. He promises Dong Zhuo millions in assets.
Just seize their property.
Seize it and more. Dong Zhuo doesn't hesitate. He sends out 5,000 cavalry, their mission. Arrest thousands of wealthy households all across Luoyang.
Arrest them for what?
For being wealthy, essentially. They slap flags on them, calling them rebellious subjects and traitorous party.
Oh, no.
Drag them outside the city, execute them all, and seize every bit of gold, silver, and valuables they own.
It's mass murder disguised as politics. A state-sponsored robbery and slaughter.
Absolutely horrific. And the terror doesn't end there. Now comes the actual forced relocation.
The move to Chang'an itself.
Yes. Li Zhu and Guoxi are put in charge of driving the population. The text says millions of citizens from Luoyang towards Chang'an.
Driving them. Like cattle.
Pretty much. The description is harrowing. People dragged along, soldiers mixed in with them, countless people just dying in ditches along the way.
And the soldiers.
Rampaging, raping women, stealing food, whatever little people had left.
Just unimaginable suffering. The source mentions the sound.
It says, cries of sorrow shook heaven and earth. Just picture that level of despair.
And there was enforcement, too, wasn't there? To keep people moving.
Yes. 3,000 soldiers followed behind, armed with white blades, basically swords or glaives. Anyone who moved too slowly, anyone who couldn't keep up.
They were killed.
Killed on the spot, no mercy. It wasn't a migration. It was, as you said earlier, a death march.
And just when you think it can't get any worse, Dong Zhuo delivers a final blow to Luoyang itself.
He does. As he's leaving, he orders the city gates set on fire, then the homes, the ancestral temples, the imperial palaces, everything.
Burn it all down. Why?
Scorched earth. Erase the capital, erase its history, make sure there's nothing left for the allies to take, nothing for people to return to. The text describes it vividly. North and south palaces, flames join, Changle Palace grounds, completely scorched earth. Utter devastation.
Erasing centuries of history and culture in fire. And that was still one more act of desecration, wasn't there?
One final, ghoulish act. He tells Lu Bu to dig up the tombs.
The imperial tombs. Graves of past emperors and empresses.
Yes. To loot them for any remaining gold, jewels, precious artifacts buried with them.
Grave robbing on an imperial scale.
And it wasn't just the imperial tombs. The soldiers took it as license to dig up basically almost all the graves of officials and commoners, too. Widespread desecration, an absolute low point.
Yes, sacrilege upon sacrilege. So after all this destruction and horror, Dong Zhuo finally leaves.
He departs for Chang'an, takes the young emperor, the empresses, and according to the text, thousands of carts, just loaded with gold, pearls, silk, all the valuables stolen from the homes and graves of Luoyang.
And the coalition. When do they finally arrive?
They arrive later, After Dong Zhu's forces abandon the passes, Zhao Shen surrenders Sishu Pass. Sun Jian gets into Luyong first.
Followed by the others, Liu Bei, Guan Yu, Zhang Fei.
Yes, they break through Hulao Pass, the other lords follow, only to find Luying completely ruined, a smoldering, empty shell of a city.
So they technically won the battle for the capital, but it's an empty victory. There's nothing left.
Exactly. A hollow, devastating victory.
Wow. In Luoyang, the capital, after Dongzhuo just rampaged through it.
A brutal scene.
Yeah, imagine this. Sun Jian sees it. The sources say, flames punching the sky.
Oh.
Black smoke blanketing the ground. And this silence, so deep that for like 100 miles.
100 miles?
Yeah, 200 or 300. No sign of chickens, dogs, or human habitation. Just nothing.
Devastating. Utterly devastating.
And Sun Jian, his first move is just trying to put out the fires.
Yeah.
Small thing maybe, but symbolic amidst all that
It
destruction.
really sets the scene, doesn't it? That level of chaos must have had a huge psychological impact.
On everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sun Jian, Cao Cao, the other lords there. What do you even do in the face of that?
Well, that kind of destruction, it can paralyze people. You get the sense of just overwhelming despair.
Mm-hmm.
So leaders face a choice, right?
Yeah.
Do you give in to the chaos, or do you find a way to act?
And for most, maybe the instinct is caution.
Exactly. Regroup, reassess. The scale of it, as described in the romance, it just underlines the stakes. And frankly, Dong Zhu's villainy sets the stage for different reactions.
And those reactions really highlight Cao Cao's frustration. Because the other lords, especially Yuan Shao, they're hesitant.
Right, holding back.
And Cao Cao, the source quotes him, he basically pleads with Yuan Shao. Dong the bandit has gone west. This is the time to pursue.
He sees the opening.
Yeah, why are you, Benchu? That's Yuan Shao's style name. Why aren't you moving? He sees this chance just slipping away.
The romance really plays up that frustration, doesn't it?
It does. Is it just him being, I don't know, hot-headed? Or is there something deeper strategically that Yuan Shao and the others are missing?
That's the key insight here, I think. The others, paralyzed by caution, looking for consensus, which, can be a real trap in leadership.
Yeah, analysis paralysis.
Right. But Cao Cao, he gets it. He calls it heaven's time.
Mm-hmm.
He makes this really passionate case. Dong Zhuo burned palaces, kidnapped the emperor, the realm is shaken, everyone's lost. This, he says, this is heaven's time for his demise. One battle can settle the world.
Wow, that's confidence.
It's more than just boldness, though. It's seeing that window, that fleeting opportunity.
That others don't see or are too scared to take.
Exactly. And the novel uses this scene to immediately mark him out. He's the one who acts decisively while others dither, even if it means going it alone.
Right.
That focus, seizing the moment, ignoring the odds, that's core to his character in the romance. Helps explain his rise later.
He really believed it. This was the moment.
Absolutely.
But the others? No. Couldn't agree. Too risky, they said.
Standard coalition politics, almost.
Yeah. And Cao just boils over. Calls them worthless fellows, not worth planning with. Ouch.
Doesn't mince words.
No. So he just takes his own men.
Yeah.
Over 10,000 soldiers. His core guys, Xiahou Dun, Xiahou Yuan, Cao Ren, Cao Hong, Li Dian, Li Jin.
His loyalists.
Exactly. And they just head out, pursuing Dong Zhuo overnight. That's a huge gamble, right? When everyone else is just sitting there.
It's absolutely defining because, like you said, it highlights that clash in leadership styles right away.
Caution versus action.
Precisely. Coalition's bogged down, careful, maybe too careful. Cao Cao. He seizes the initiative, sets himself apart immediately, shows that independent streak, that trust in his own judgment, which, as the novel shows again and again, is crucial for him.
But that initiative, it leads him straight into trouble. Dong Zhuo gets to Xinjiang, and he just got this strategist, Li Ru, a clever guy.
Yeah, Dong Zhuo wasn't just relying on brute force. Li Ru was sharp.
Very sharp. He comes up with this plan, tells local governor Zhu Rong, set an ambush outside Xinjiang city by a mountain ravine. And the key part, let the pursuers pass first.
The classic pincer move from behind.
Exactly. Let them hit Dong Zhuo's main force, then slam the door shut behind them.
Cunning.
And guess who's leading Dong Zhuo's rear guard?
Has to be Lu Bu, right?
Lu Bu himself, the big gun. And as Cao Cao's army catches up, Lu Bu apparently just laughs.
Confident.
Yeah, said something like, not beyond Lu Ru's expectations.
Yeah.
They knew Cao Cao was coming.
Psychological blow right there.
Totally. Then the verbal jabs start. Cao Cao, all fired up, yells at Lu Bu, "Rebel! Kidnapping the emperor, displacing the people, where are you going?"
Righteous anger.
And Lu Bu just throws it back. "Hey, faithless coward, how dare you speak nonsense?"
Oof. And then?
Then it's on. Xiahou Dun, Cao Cao's man, charges straight at Lu Bu, spear ready.
Xiahou Dun versus Lu Bu. A clash of titans, even then. What about those taunts before the fight? Just insults or more to it?
Oh, definitely more. It's psychological warfare, isn't it?
Absolutely. Li Tru's plan isn't just about where to hide the troops. It's about rattling the enemy. Lu Bu's laughter, that tells Cao Cao, "We expected you, you walked right into it." And the insults, meant to provoke, get them angry, maybe make mistakes.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it shows Dongzhu's side had brains as well as brawn. Li Bu was thinking steps ahead.
And that thinking turned into a nightmare for Cao Cao. Fast. Xiahou Dun and Lu Bu clash. Just a few exchanges.
And then the trap springs.
Bang. Li Ju and Guo Si, more of Dongzhu's generals, hit them from the left.
Okay.
Then another army slams in from the right. Cao Cao has to scramble, sends Xiahou Yuan and Cao Ren to try and hold them off.
Overwhelmed.
Totally. The source calls it 3 armies, an irresistible force. Just impossible odds. Xiahou Dun can't hold Lu Bu. He has to pull back.
So the line breaks.
Completely. Cao Cao's army is routed, just running, trying to get back toward Xinjiang.
Chaos.
Pure chaos. And the description of the flight, it's vivid. It's late, around the second watch, but the moon's bright. He manages to gather what's left of his men. Exhausted. At the foot of this desolate mountain, they're just about to try and get some food.
Oh, no.
And then shouts from all sides. Zhuron's ambushers. The second part of the trap.
Li Bu's plan B. Or maybe plan A all along.
Right. Cao is now in serious personal danger. He's fleeing, runs right into Zhurong himself.
Face to face.
Gets shot, an arrow in the shoulder. Then moments later, his horse gets shot out from under him. Goes down.
Ah, terrible.
Cao rolls off. He's on the ground, wounded, and captured by 2 soldiers. Just like that.
Wow. From leading 10,000 men to captured by 2 foot soldiers? That's stark.
Isn't it? What does that moment tell us? For a leader like him, that vulnerability.
That's a brutal reality check, isn't it? That aha moment you mentioned.
Yeah.
Here's this guy defied the coalition, full of confidence, reduced to this, injured, on the ground, caught. It just hammers home how chaotic war is, how vulnerable even the most powerful are. It's not just about grand plans. It's about sheer survival and how quickly things can flip. Audacious charge 1 minute, fighting for your life the next.
That kind of personal danger.
That's what makes these fairs and the romance feel so real, so legendary. They face death personally.
But this isn't the end for Cao Cao, because this is where that loyalty factor kicks in big time.
Yes. This part is famous.
Just as he's captured, enter Cao Hong, his cousin, right?
One of his most trusted relatives, yeah.
Heroic entrance. Waving his blade, kills the 2 soldiers holding Cao Cao, jumps off his horse, rescues him.
Incredible timing.
But Cao Cao, he seems broken. He tells Cao Hong, "I will die here. You, my brother, should leave quickly." Basically, save yourself.
Giving up hope.
Yeah. But Cao Hong, his response, it's legendary. You probably know it.
The world can be without Hong, but not without you, sir.
That's the one. Chills, right.
Yes.
I mean, that's not just loyalty. That's absolute devotion. Putting the leader's life, the cause, above everything.
It's profound. It's complete self-sacrifice for the Lord. What does that tell us, though? About the culture and about Cao Cao himself, even then?
That's a great question. What kind of leader inspires that?
Well, on one level, it reflects those Confucian ideals, right? Loyalty, duty, hierarchy. The retainer's life is secondary to the Lord's purpose, especially if that Lord represents, hope for restoring order. But for Cao Cao personally, it's huge. It means he'd already built this incredible trust, this charisma with his inner circle, his family, his closest generals.
They saw something in him.
Exactly. To inspire that level of sacrifice, he must have shown something special. Vision, courage, maybe even genuine care for his men. It wasn't just abstract duty.
Right.
And this moment, it cements that bond. It shows that while other allies might waver, these guys, they'll literally die for him.
I think Cao Hong proves it's not just words. He immediately gives Cao Cao his horse.
Puts the injured Cao Cao on it.
Yeah. And Cao Hong, he walks, drags his sword. They're still trying to escape.
The pursuit's still on.
Oh, yeah. They get to a river, big river, blocking their path, enemies closing in.
What now?
Cao Hong doesn't even hesitate, takes off his armor, his robes, and carries Cao Cao across the water. Physically carries him.
While being shot at.
Yep. Source says arrows were flying across the water as they reached the other side. Just sheer desperation and incredible effort from Cao Hong.
It really drives home the danger, doesn't it? They're not just running, they're fighting for every single step. That river crossing under fire, it's a powerful image of that commitment.
An unbreakable bond forged right there.
Absolutely.
But even then, it's not quite over. Xu Rong, the ambusher, he's relentless.
He doesn't give up.
Crosses the river upstream, still chasing them.
Oh, come on.
But then shouts in the distance, "Xu Rong, do not harm our lord."
The cavalry arrives.
Yes. Is Xiao Hudan and Xiao Yuan back again with dozens of riders? What a moment that must have been for Cao Cao, seeing them when it seemed hopeless.
Pure relief, surely. Like you said, straight out of a movie, a near-death experience flips to salvation.
Right.
And it just reinforces the value of that inner circle again. They came back for him.
And Xie Hudan deals with the immediate threat, charges Xu Rong.
Finally takes him out.
Sources he stabs Xu Rong below his horse. Ends the pursuit right there.
What a climax to that chase. Loyalty sealed through shared danger and finally triumph.
The relief.
Mm.
You can only imagine. Soon after the others show up, Cao Ren, Li Dian, Li Jin, they find Cao Cao. Just worry and joy mixed together. They gather who's left. How many started? 10,000.
Over 10,000.
They're left with just over 500 men.
Wow. That's a devastating loss.
Huge loss. They limp back to Henei. Meanwhile, Dongzhou keeps moving west towards Chang'an.
In Luoyang, the city's a wreck, especially the palaces.
Total devastation, just ruins everywhere.
And our central figure here, Sun Jin, he's one of the allied warlords fighting Dongzhou. He arrives and, what does he do first? It seems almost like a civic duty.
It really does. He acts fast. First, he orders his troops to put out the palace fires that are still burning.
Okay, sensible.
Then he camps his troops right inside the city, specifically at the base of the Jianzheng Palace. He gets his soldiers clearing away all the rubble from the palaces.
So practical stuff, cleaning up.
Yes, but also symbolic. He even reburies bodies from graves Dongzhou had desecrated.
Wow.
Which is a big deal.
Wow.
And then perhaps the most significant act early on, he builds 3 simple rooms right on the foundations of the Grand Ancestral Temple, the Tai Miao.
Why there?
To reestablish the sacred ancestral tablets of the Han emperors, he holds a grand sacrifice and actually invites the other warlords.
Huh. That's quite a statement.
It is. This initial display of, well, piety and restoration, it's crucial. If you connect it to the bigger picture, it immediately sets Sun Jin up as someone who, outwardly at least, respects the Han imperial line.
Which is super important for legitimacy, right? In the eyes of the people, other lords.
Absolutely. But it begs the question, doesn't it? Was this genuine respect? Or was it more of a calculated political move?
Always the question in these power struggles. Was he being genuinely devout or just, playing the game really well?
It's hard to say for sure. Probably a mix of both. I mean, presenting yourself as loyal to the Han, acting virtuously, that definitely gives you a kind of moral high ground.
Especially when everything else is falling apart.
Precisely. In that fractured landscape, every public action counts. It made him stand out.
So after this very solemn, very public act, Sun Jin's outside his camp. It's night. He's looking at the stars, feeling the weight of it all. Our sources say he sees white gas everywhere in the purple star enclosure, which sounds ominous.
Yeah, it's astrological symbolism for chaos and ill omen concerning the emperor.
Right. And he sighs. The imperial star is dim, traitorous officials disturb the country, the myriad people are suffering, and the capital is empty.
He's actually moved to tears.
A moment of genuine despair, perhaps. Or perhaps setting the stage.
But then, this is where it gets really interesting. A soldier points something out, something extraordinary.
Yes, he spots this weird light. South of the palace, he says, 5-colored radiance rises from a well.
5-colored radiance?
Yeah.
From a well. What happens next?
Sun Jin's immediately intrigued, orders torches lit, sends soldiers down into the well to investigate.
And what do they find down there?
It's pretty astonishing. They retrieve the body of a woman. But the text says she's undecayed, despite, everything that's happened. Still dressed in palace attire.
Undecayed. That's eerie.
Very. And around her neck, there's a brocade pouch.
Okay. And inside the pouch, don't tell me.
Inside the pouch, a vermilion box, locked with gold.
Locked. And inside the box.
Inside the box, the imperial seal.
Wow. The imperial seal itself. You mean the heirloom seal of the realm. The Chuangguai. That's the one. The legendary seal.
Okay, for anyone listening who might not be totally up on this, What did this thing actually look like? The sources describe it, right?
They do. It's described as square, about 4 inches on each side. On top, it's got these 5 intertwined dragons carved into it. Really intricate.
All right. Dragons. Got it.
But crucially, it had a missing corner, chipped.
Yeah.
And that corner had been repaired with gold. That's a key detail.
A gold repair. Interesting. And the inscription.
Ah, the inscription. In seal script, it reads, Shuming Yu Tian Ji Shou Yangjiang.
Which translates to...
Roughly, received mandate from heaven, may it live long and prosper.
Okay, received mandate from heaven. That inscription alone just screams importance. This isn't just some pretty jade artifact.
Not at all. It's the tangible symbol of the mandate of heaven,
Yeah.
the divine right to rule. Finding this, I mean, for Sun Jian, it's unbelievably potent.
Absolutely. But its power comes from its history, too, right? I understand Sun Jian's general, Cheng Pu, he recognized it immediately.
He did. Cheng Pu knew exactly what it was and why it mattered so much. He immediately recounts its incredible history, which really drives home the significance.
So walk us through that history. Where did this legendary jade even come from?
Well, according to Cheng Pu, it started with a piece of jade found by Bian He at Jing Mountain, a place, the stories say, where phoenixes nested, so auspicious from the start.
Phoenixes, okay.
It was later carved for Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor, in his 26th year on the throne. And the inscription, penned by none other than the famous prime minister, Li Si.
Li Si himself. Wow. So first emperor, Li Si, its pedigree is unmatched.
And the legend just grows. Apparently, in Qin Shi Huang's 28th year, he threw it into Dongting Lake to stop a storm.
Threw it in a lake. Did he get it back?
Miraculously, yes. 8 years later, near Huayin, some mysterious person finds it and tells the officials to return it to the ancestral dragon, meaning the emperor.
Okay, that's quite a story. So it finds its way back. Then it passes to the Han Dynasty.
Exactly. Passed to Liu Bang, the founder of the Han, by Ziying, the last Qin ruler. So it symbolizes that transfer of the mandate.
Right. A direct link from Qin to Han. And what about that chipped corner you mentioned, the gold repair?
Ah, yes, the famous chip.
Mhm.
That happened much later, during Wang Mang's usurpation, when he briefly took the throne from the Han.
Okay.
The Empress Dowager Xiaoyan, who was loyal to the Han, was furious. When Wang Mang's cronies, Wang Xun and Su Xian, came to demand the seal, she apparently threw it at them in a rage.
Through the seal.
Hit the floor, chipped the corner, was later repaired with gold. And this detail, mentioned by Cheng Pu, confirms that the object Sun Jian found is that very seal.
That makes the identification concrete, so it connects directly back to this historical event. What happened after Wang Mang?
Emperor Guangwu, who restored the Han dynasty, recovered it at Yang, and it was passed down through the Han emperors ever since. Until recently, it was lost when the 10 eunuchs kidnapped the young Emperor Shao and fled towards North Ming Mountain during the chaos in the capital. They failed to bring it back. It just vanished.
Vanished. So for it to suddenly reappear like this, pulled from a well by Sun Jian's men.
It's like a sign from heaven itself. Or at least that's how someone like Cheng Pu would see it.
And Cheng Pu definitely didn't hesitate to interpret it that way, did he? What does he tell Sun Jian right then and there?
He doesn't mince words. Knowing this whole history, he connects the dots instantly. He tells Sun Jian basically, heaven has granted this to our Lord.
Wow.
You must have the destiny to ascend to the 9-5.
The 9-5, explain that reference.
It's a classical reference from the I Ching, the Book of Changes. The 5th line of the first hexagram, associated with the dragon in flight, it symbolizes the emperor's throne.
So he's flat out telling Sun Jian, you're destined to be emperor.
Pretty much. And then he gives some practical advice. This place, meaning Luoyang, is not suitable for a long stay. You should quickly return to Jiangdong and plan for great things.
Plan for great things, meaning make a bid for the throne.
Exactly. Go home, gather your strength, use this seal as your claim.
So Sun Jian, who just hours before was performing these acts of loyalty to the Han, he now holds this undeniable symbol of imperial destiny in his hands. How does he react?
He's completely on board. He tells Cheng Pu, that's exactly my intention. No hesitation.
Really? Just like that?
Seems so. The allure of the seal, the mandate of heaven, it's too powerful. Their immediate plan. Feign illness the very next day is an excuse to leave Luoyang.
Sneaky.
Very. And Sun Jian secretly warns his soldiers, keep your mouth shut about this, don't leak the news.
This is a huge turning point, isn't it? The discovery fundamentally flips a switch in Sun Jian's mind, from warlord supporting the Han maybe to future emperor.
It totally shifts his focus. He sees a path to the ultimate power. It really makes you wonder, though, if he'd managed to keep it secret, How different would things have been?
Could he have pulled it off? Or was the secret just too big, too explosive in that environment?
Well, in an era packed with ambitious warlords, spies everywhere, keeping something like the Imperial Seal hidden, that's a tall order. It's just too significant.
And, well, as these stories often go, the secret doesn't stay secret for long.
Nope. Predictably, it leaks.
Our sources say one of Sun Jian's own soldiers betrays him, someone who was originally from Yuan Shao's territory.
Loyalty was fluid back then.
Clearly. This soldier sneaks out of camp at night, goes straight to Yuan Shao, and spills the beans. Yuan Shao rewards him, keeps him hidden.
Smart move by Yuan Shao. Hold on to your evidence.
So the next day, Sun Jian goes to Yuan Shao's tent to say goodbye, claiming he's feeling a bit unwell, a small illness. What happens then?
Yuan Shao just laughs, calls him out immediately. I know your illness, he says. It's caused by the Imperial Seal.
Whoa. Straight to the point. How does Sun Jian react?
He's visibly startled, naturally. Tries to deny it. What are you talking about? That kind of thing.
But Yuan Shao keeps pushing.
Oh, yeah. He says the seal is a treasure of the court, should be left with him as the alliance leader, for safekeeping. Until Dongzhuo was defeated, then it can go back to the court.
Right, safekeeping with him.
Exactly. He directly accuses Sun Jian. You're hiding it for your own ambition.
That's a serious accusation. Does Sun Jian cave?
No, he keeps denying it. Even when Yuan Shao specifically asks about the object from the well in Jiansang Palace.
He's sticking to his story. Then what?
Then Sun Jian does something really dramatic. He points up to the heavens and swears this incredibly solemn oath.
An oath? What does he swear?
He basically calls down divine punishment on himself. If I indeed obtain this treasure and privately hid it, he swears, may I not die well in the future, but perish by blade and arrow.
Wow, that's intense. Perish by blade and arrow.
In that culture, an oath like that is huge. It's seen as binding your fate. And interestingly, the sources say it actually works for a moment. The other warlords present seem convinced he's telling the truth.
They buy it, but Yuan Shao doesn't.
Not for a second. Yuan Shao then plays his trump card. He calls out the soldier, the spy, the one who betrayed Sun Jian.
Oh, he brings out the witness right there.
Right in front of everyone. Reveals the whole truth.
Okay, the jig is up. What's the immediate reaction? It must have been explosive.
Completely explosive. Sun Jian is enraged, betrayed, exposed. He instantly draws his sword to kill the soldier on the spot.
Tries to silence him.
Exactly. But Yuan Shao draws his sword too, accusing Sun Jian of defying him, the alliance leader.
Swords are drawn. This is bad.
Gets worse. Yuan Shao's top generals, the famous Yan Liang and Wen Chao, they draw their swords.
Okay, now it's really escalating.
And Sun Jian's generals, Cheng Pu, Huang Gai, Han Dang, they're not backing down. They draw their blades too. Everyone's armed, facing off.
So, a full-blown fight is about to break out between the supposed allies.
It's right on the edge. A massive confrontation is only just barely averted because the other warlords jump in, physically separating them, calming things down.
Man, talk about tense. So the fight is prevented, but the damage is done. What happens immediately after this standoff?
Sun Ji knows it's over. The alliance, his position there, it's all broken. He immediately gets on his horse, orders his troops to break camp, and just leaves Liang. Fast.
Doesn't waste any time. And Yuan Shao, he must be furious.
Absolutely livid. Sun Jin got away, and potentially he still has the seal. So Yuan Shao immediately writes a letter.
A letter? To who?
To Liu Biao, the governor of Jing province, basically telling him, Sun Jin's coming your way. Intercept him on the road. Get that seal.
So he tries to stop him further down the road. The conflict is officially on.
It's officially on. It's right after Cao Cao's defeat. Remember, he'd just been beaten chasing Dongzhuo to Qingyang, and you can just feel his disappointment. At this gathering Yuan Shao's hosting, Cao Cao really lets them have it. He lays out his original vision, this big strategy. He had roles for everyone. Yuan Shao leading from Hanei, controlling key spots, other generals holding Chenggao, Okan, blocking passes like Han Yuan, Sun Jian leading from the south. His whole strategy was about deep moats and high walls.
Avoiding big fights, using suspicion troops to look strong without full commitment. But that's not what happened. He's lamenting how they're just delaying and not advancing. Says it's greatly lost the hope of the world. He even says, I secretly feel ashamed. And the reaction, total silence, Yuan Shao. There's just no words to respond. Stone cold silence.
Yeah, and that silence is so telling, isn't it? Cao's frustration just throws this into sharp relief. What's the real difference between a strategic alliance, with a shared goal, and just a bunch of guys looking out for themselves temporarily? This moment really reveals it wasn't about unity for most of them. It was about positioning. individual game.
Exactly. And you see that difference play out almost immediately. Cao Cao sees these different intentions. He senses they can't accomplish anything. So what does he do? He just leaves, takes his army, heads for Yang province. Quick, decisive. And he wasn't alone in seeing it. Gong Xinzan, who's always sharp, he tells Liu Bei and his brothers, look, Yuan Shao is incompetent. He says, changes will surely occur.
Right? Basically, this isn't going to hold together.
Yeah. Tells him to go home. He even makes Liu Bei the prefect of Pingwan before heading north himself to, guard his own territory, raise his own army.
Everyone's already shifting back to their own power bases.
Totally. And then it gets even messier. Internal fighting. Liu Dai, prefect of Yanzhou, wants grain from Qiao, prefect of Dong Commandery.
Okay.
Qiao says no. So Liu Dai just attacks his camp, kills him, and takes his troops. Just like that.
Wow. So much for the coalition against Dongzhou.
Right. The supposed common enemy is dealt with, and bam, they turn on each other. Yuan Shao, seeing everyone else scatter, finally packs up too, leads his forces away from Luoyang towards Guangdong. So this huge coalition, seemingly united, just completely dissolves in days.
Right.
What really strikes you about how fast they pivoted from that shared goal back to their own turf wars.
It's incredibly striking, isn't it? And it really hammers home the fragility. You ask what stands out, it's the speed, the sheer speed with which they abandon the idea of a collective goal for, well, immediate tangible gain. It shows that these alliances, maybe they were always on shaky ground, built more on convenience than real commitment. And then something concrete, something symbolic like this imperial seal we're about to get to.
Ah, the seal.
Yeah, that becomes the immediate flashpoint. It just crystallizes all those individual desires and boom, you've got a new conflict, much more visceral.
And that new conflict kicks off almost instantly. The sources bring in Liu Biao. He's the Jing province governor, styled Jingshang. From Shenyang Gaoping, a Han imperial relative, known for being young, liking scholars. He was part of that group called the Eight Talents of Jianqia.
Right, with people like Chen Xing, Fan Peng.
Yeah.
Important connections.
Exactly. And he had key advisors too, Guai Liang, Kuai Yu, Cai Mao. So given Liu Biao's background imperial relative, Scholar Network, how does his entry, specifically prompted by a letter from Yuan Shao, set things up for this fight over the seal?
Well, his imperial connection gives him a claim, or at least an interest, in symbols of imperial power. So he's already sort of primed for this. When Yuan Shao, remember, sends him a letter about the seal, it's like tossing a match on dry tinder. It immediately shifts the focus from the messy politics of the coalition to something tangible, the seal. The ultimate symbol of legitimacy. Anyone thought to have it becomes a target, instantly.
And the target is Sun Jian.
Yeah.
That letter from Yuan Shao is the catalyst. Liu Biao doesn't waste a second. Sends Kuai Yu and Cai Mao with 10,000 troops to intercept Sun Jian. When they meet, Kuai Yu just lays it out. Accuses Sun Jian, point blank, of privately hiding the imperial seal. Demands he hand it over.
Bold move.
Sun Jian is furious, absolute livid. He swears this oath like, if I have this thing, may I die by blade and arrow. Pretty intense.
Doesn't sound like someone who has it, or at least wants people to think he has it.
Right. So fighting starts immediately. Sun Jian tells Huang Gai to go. Cai Mao meets him. A few rounds later, Huang Gai cracks Cai Mao right on his heart mirror, his chest plate with his whip.
Ouch!
Cai Mao retreats. Sun Jian chases him, crosses the border into Liu Biao's territory. But then, Liu Biao himself shows up with more troops. Sun Jian tries to reason with him. Like, why are you trusting Yuan Shao? Why are you messing with a neighbor?
Good questions.
But Liu Biao just doubles down, asks him straight up, are you hiding the seal? Planning a rebellion. He even demands to search Sun Jian's luggage.
That's a major insult.
Sun Jian's response, what power do you have to dare look down on me? He's ready to throw down. But just as it looks like a full-on battle, Liu Biao pulls back, tactically.
Setting something up.
Exactly. Sun Jian, maybe a bit too eager, pursues him. And bam, it's an ambush. Troops pour down from two mountains. Cai Mao and Kuai Yu attack from behind. Sun Jian is trapped. And the chapter ends with this really powerful line. It just sums everything up. The imperial seal is useless after being acquired. Instead, this treasure causes war.
Chilling.
Useless, but causes war. That captures the tragic irony perfectly.